16 things you do that cats interpret as I love you. Did you know that in animal psychology, cats are considered socially flexible, meaning they adapt their bond styles depending on the human? Translation: they're constantly interpreting your actions for signs of affection, and you're sending more I love you messages than you realize. Let's uncover these 16 human quirks that show your cat love. 1. Pausing your routine when they interrupt. Think about it. How often do you stop mid-email, mid-bite of food, or even mid-sentence to acknowledge your cat when they casually stroll across the room? From their perspective, that tiny pause is massive. It says, "You are more important than whatever I was doing." Cats are deeply attuned to attention shifts, and when you make them the priority, even just for a second, they interpret it as absolute devotion. For them, the world revolves around subtle hierarchy, and your willingness to drop everything is like telling them, "You come first." 2. Talking to them in your cat voice. You know the one. The slightly higher-pitched, borderline embarrassing voice you'd never use with another human. Cats actually respond to these altered tones because they resemble the way mother cats chirp and soften their meows to kittens. To your cat, that ridiculous sing-song chatter doesn't just sound silly. It sounds familiar, comforting, and deeply affectionate. And if they meow back, that's them literally joining the conversation of love. 3. Letting them win the bed wars. Ever noticed how your cat always manages to claim the warmest, most inconvenient spot on the bed? And instead of moving them, you twist yourself into a chiropractor's nightmare to make it work? That's not just you being polite. Your cat interprets it as monumental love. In the wild, giving up prime sleeping real estate is a show of trust and deference. To them, the fact that you allow them the comfiest patch of blanket says, "I care more about your comfort than mine." 4. Respecting their silence. Here's a twist. Sometimes your love isn't what you do, but what you don't. Cats, unlike dogs, thrive on moments of quiet companionship. When you resist the urge to smother them with chatter or touch during their me time, they actually interpret that restraint as a sign of respect. And respect is love in their world. You're basically telling them, "I understand you on your terms." That's a rare kind of affection cats value far more than constant interaction. 5. Remembering their weird little rituals. Does your cat insist on inspecting the groceries before you put them away? Or maybe they demand you open the bathroom door exactly 3 seconds after they've scratched it. When you humor these rituals consistently, your cat sees it as evidence of your loyalty. It's like remembering a friend's coffee order, but to your cat, it's proof that you've memorized their language. Nothing screams "I love you" louder than accommodating their peculiar traditions. 6. Moving slowly when they're around. Quick question. Have you ever noticed how cats tense up when someone stomps, rushes, or flails their arms? Now think about how gently you move when your cat's underfoot. That careful slowness communicates something powerful: safety. Cats evolved to equate calm, measured movements with non-threatening allies. So when you lower your volume, tiptoe instead of stomp, or carefully reach for the remote without startling them, your cat reads it as tenderness. 7. Offering them choices. Ever catch yourself holding open 2 doors, letting your cat decide which way to go, or setting out multiple napping spots just so they can choose? That's love, feline style. Cats value autonomy above almost everything, and when you give them options instead of forcing them into one scenario, they interpret it as ultimate respect. You're basically telling them, "Your preferences matter as much as mine." And believe me, that goes straight to their little kitty hearts. 8. Mimicking their timing. Cats operate on what I call feline clockwork. They expect things to happen at roughly the same time each day, whether it's meals, play sessions, or evening cuddles. When you fall into their rhythm, even accidentally, your cat views it as love in action. You're proving that you're tuned into their internal schedule. It's not about the food itself, it's about the consistency, the predictability, the comfort of knowing, "My human gets me." 9. Allowing them to watch you work. Ever wondered why your cat insists on being in the same room while you're on Zoom calls, typing away, or even folding laundry? From their point of view, you're inviting them into your hunt, or task ritual. By not shutting them out, by allowing them to perch beside you, or even sit smack in the middle of your keyboard, you're telling them, "We're a team." That sense of inclusion, even in the most mundane human tasks, translates as genuine love. 10. Smelling like home. Here's something you might not realize. Your scent is one of your cat's greatest comforts. When you let them nuzzle your clothes, nap on your shoes, or bury their face in your laundry pile, You're providing a deep, sensory reminder of love. Cats rely heavily on smell for bonding, and your willingness to donate your scent-covered belongings is the feline equivalent of writing them a love letter. 11. Not laughing at their dramatic moments. Cats are masters of the theatrical. Maybe your cat launches off the couch like they're auditioning for an action movie, or dramatically tumbles after failing to jump a shelf. When you don't laugh, or worse, scold, but instead treat those moments with gentle reassurance, your cat sees it as kindness. You're acknowledging their dignity even when they're ridiculous. And in their world, dignity is currency. Preserving it equals unconditional love. 12. Turning your routines into theirs. Ever noticed how your cat slips into your patterns without you asking? Morning coffee becomes their time to stretch in the sun, or movie night turns into their official lap hour. When you actively make space in your routine for them, like sliding your laptop aside so they can sprawl, you're cementing the bond. That's not just habit. That's your cat recognizing you've woven them into the fabric of your daily life. For them, that's pure love. 13. Listening to their subtle cues. Do you pick up on the tiny flick of their tail or the faint twitch of their ears? When you notice those little signals and respond accordingly, stepping back when they're overstimulated or leaning in when they want attention, they see you as unusually attuned. In the wild, survival depends on reading body language. So your ability to interpret those micro-signals doesn't just mean you're observant. To your cat, it means you care deeply enough to listen without words. 14. Creating safe perches for them. Not every human realizes this, but when you allow your cat to perch somewhere high, on a shelf, on the back of the couch, or even on top of the fridge, you're doing more than humoring them. Cats feel secure when they can survey from above. If you intentionally keep those spots accessible, you're basically saying, I want you to feel powerful, safe, and in control in our shared space. To them, that's a very loud, very clear, I love you. 15. Letting them witness your vulnerable side. Ever cried in front of your cat? Or maybe just lounged around in pajamas with no energy? Cats notice vulnerability, and when you let them be around you during those raw, unfiltered moments, they interpret it as trust. In the animal kingdom, showing weakness is risky. So if you're relaxed enough to fall apart or zone out in their presence, they see it as a profound gift, and they often respond with quiet companionship. That silent loyalty, that's mutual love at its purest. 16. Blinking slowly back at them. You've probably seen it, the famous cat slow blink. When your cat narrows their eyes and blinks at you in slow motion, it's their version of a smile, even a whispered, I trust you. And when you return that blink, you're speaking their language perfectly. To them, it's not just a blink, it's vulnerability. Because closing their eyes near you means they believe you'll keep them safe. That moment of mirrored calm is one of the clearest ways cats read I love you in a form they instinctively understand. So there you go, 16 ways you tell your cat you love them, without saying a single word. But don't stop here. If you're curious to know whether your cat feels understood by you, or about the big mistakes that make them feel rejected, your next video is just waiting on screen. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more.